Good day, everyone. This is Talk Football Live again. I'm here with the crew, Biodun, Akitayo, Ayo, and Ola. We're here to discuss the games of the weekend, the top games of the weekend. We know there's a long list of games, but we're just going to be sticking to some very, very important games, probably tied to deciding games. We're going to start with Newcastle Liverpool. We know Liverpool has not been in the best form of their life, and Newcastle on the opposite end, they are the best form of their life. But we want to hear your predictions, hear why you think a prediction is really worth it, and convince us. Let us know what you think. And we're going to start with Biodun. Newcastle Liverpool. What do you think is going to happen in that game?
I want to draw, but I fear that I want to draw. I don't see Newcastle winning. I think they're also getting tired as well. They struggled again last game, and I just think with the Liverpool that I've seen, again, it's so hard for anybody to put your money on Liverpool. That's I'm just going to warn you right now, because they give you one good game and the next game, right? So, but that performance was great, and I'm looking forward to Liverpool turning up again and against a Newcastle that has been struggling to score. And I think we've called that out, right? Callum Wilson is low on confidence right now. Isak had been brought in, is not delivering. Willock walked out with injury. So Guimaraes, I'm not sure if he's back. I think he's still suspended. Right? So that's been a challenge for the coach. So they're not being able to score. It's an advantage for Liverpool. And I think Diaz is coming back. Jota play a little, few minutes, right? And I think I told you guys, right, last week, it was the three of us, when I said that Everton energy, forget it. It's never going to happen. Number one, they don't have the home crowd. I told you, and I think I predicted 2-0. I'm not a good, predictor, but I think that's one of the times that I will probably predict something very right. So that was spot on. They did well. I want them to carry that same energy. And I'm saying that because of the top four race. I think Newcastle should just stay behind. Let the first and second deal with this thing to the very rest. So I don't want some other companion like Man U and Newcastle creeping on the title race. So I don't wish Newcastle a win. I don't think they will get a win because they will struggle to score. And if that's a disadvantage to them, that gives Liverpool the opportunity to play. And with Jota coming back and Diaz getting ready, I don't think Diaz will play, but I think it might be a bit, maybe 50% available. But Jota is coming back. Salah, that was a superb run and a superb finish against, Everton. I think it's going to be a draw. If it's not a draw, then maybe Liverpool will snatch a win. But I think it might be a draw, maybe a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay. And does anybody agree with Biodun on a 1-1 draw for Liverpool Newcastle?
For me, I personally agree. I had 1-1 at the back of my mind. I rarely agree with Biodun, if you guys should realize that. But this one, I had it on. It's like he read my mind, and I'll tell you why. So Newcastle has been the best defensive team this season, but as I always say, you can't. The wall you build in your defense line can only last as long as the health of those guys behind the line. So what we have seen, we've been seeing the cracks coming up in the defensive line for Newcastle. Now, how long can you do those kind of defensive game for? I give you max of 10 games in any given 20 games stretch. You can only do like 10. Now, these guys started showing some cracks in the last 3 games. A team that gone without consider any game for like 11 games, no goal in like 11 games. All of a sudden, last 3 games they conceded. Now, Liverpool is the most unpredictable team. Now, I don't say unpredictable in terms of tactics. They can have all the tactics in this world and they still lose a game. And when Liverpool lose, they don't lose small. They lose like big, 2-3. That kind of. So, but for this game, because they have a lot of guys coming back, and because of the inconsistency with Newcastle, I still believe it's going to be a 1-1 game for that game.
Akitayo, keep shaking your head. So Biodun and Ola say 1-1. You disagree. What do you think?
It's going to end like 3-1 in favor of Liverpool. The problem Newcastle has now is the engine room that's gone. The Guimaraes guy. Yeah, it's a big miss for them, and he's the one holding the midfield and shooting the shot. It's the engine room of the whole team, and him not being there is going to be a big problem. I see Liverpool beating them 3-1.
Have Newcastle considered 3 goals this season?
Nope.
Yeah. I would love to see that, but
Nope.
I don't know.
There's a first.
So they have not considered 3 goals this season, but Akitayo thinks this game with
Well,
underperformance.
wait, no. Hold on. I think they did. They 4-3. It was actually Liverpool. If you remember the first leg, Liverpool
Against
won.
City
It was
as well.
4-3.
There was a
Against
3-3
City.
draw.
And against it was 3-3. Yeah, so
Okay.
you're right. It was 4-3. Liverpool won that minute that people still think that is controversial up to today.
Bedu,
Yeah,
are
sorry.
you trying to change your prediction, Bedu?
No. I just remember that they've considered up to 3. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not changing my prediction. But again, I always fear Akitayo on his prediction. He talked about last week that Bournemouth and Newcastle are on the same level, they are on the same championship level, and he proved that, right? So sometimes I need to look out when he predicts. He's always almost right.
Akitayo's
So go ahead.
predictions are usually scary, but right.
Yeah. I'm about to go bench my Newcastle defenders on my FPL because
So I'm sorry, Akita, you're about to be wrong. On this one,
Okay.
you're gonna be wrong.
You,
I can
you
assure
forget
you.
that their key players are coming back. Van Dijk is back.
I know
Jota
he's
is
back.
back.
I know.
Luis.
But
is
Ola,
back. Luis is back.
Ola, I thought you talked about the wall creaking. Is the wall not creaking?
I
for
know.
Newcastle?
Yeah, what
Doesn't
has
count.
has cracked. Now in the midfield now they have a problem.
There are cracks.
Two
There
key
are
players
cracks
are
in the
not playing.
wall, and that's why you're
Key
only going to
players.
see one goal.
Will Locks or what's that guy's name? He's not playing. Gimares
Joe
is not
Willock.
playing.
Yes.
Their midfield is dead at
Yes.
the moment. So now
But guess what?
they have to bring this guy to the midfield. What's the name of that? Their striker, former striker.
Joelinton.
Joelinton?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
he's
no,
been doing
since
midfield.
Maximin?
He's been doing midfield
No.
for a
I'm
while.
talking about Joelinton.
You're talking about
Don't play in
Joelinton.
the midfield. And that's
Yeah,
one of his
Joelinton has
natural
been doing
role.
midfield now.
Okay, cool, guys. We got it. So 1-1 on one side, 3-1. It's 2 versus 1.
Ayo hasn't predicted.
What do you think?
I have to go with Akitayo this time.
I am ready
So-
to put money on the table for this, just to let you guys know.
Yeah,
Wow.
Okay.
We'll
Okay,
discuss
so
that after this.
I'm going.
I'll collect the
I'm
bet
going
money.
for a Liverpool win, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
I think if what Klopp did in the last game, he repeats that again today. I think I talked about it before that game, right? Where Liverpool have struggled is their lack of a succession plan. And when he brought back his tried and tested in midfield, which is where they've struggled, Fabinho and Henderson returned to the midfield. Those two guys are key for Liverpool in the midfield. They don't have any other personnel that can do what they do. Thiago, we've talked a lot about how Thiago's style of play is different and doesn't match, the high press and being able to recover balls. Fabinho is very tactically aware. Barchetic that they've brought into the team, he loves to tackle, he's positionally aware. And the energy that those three bring in midfield, I think will overrun Newcastle. I see a 2 or 3-1 win for Liverpool in this game as well. I think, like Bjorn said, Newcastle is starting to tire. Correction, they've only considered in the Premiership, they've only considered 3 goals in one game, and that was against City in the 3-3 draw. The earlier game against Liverpool ended 2-1. Liverpool won that game at Anfield. This time, they're going to be at St. James's Park, but I think Liverpool will come out on top if Fabinho and Henderson start again.
So your
And
prediction is
you
still
are
not
speaking
there.
So you guys are thinking of doing a double against Newcastle. Liverpool doing a double against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ayo, you didn't give your concrete prediction. You can't just
Are you
say-
always trying to escape prediction?
Yeah, I know. I didn't want him to leave.
It
Give us a
dodges it.
concrete prediction so we can hold you to it
2-1
in favor of
Okay.
Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool.
in favor of Liverpool.
Ola, were you going to say something?
No, I just wanted to be sure. 2-1 Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Correct.
Well, my
Normally,
money's
I'll
on
be
the
the
table.
tiebreaker, but I'm glad I don't have to predict today. So I'll let you guys have it. 3-1, 2-1, 1-1. So ties on one side, win for Liverpool. Nobody
It's on
even
level.
predicted Newcastle win, but it's all good. Okay, so fair enough. We'll move on to the next game, which will be the London Derby. Spurs, West Ham. Spurs, yeah, they've been kind of disappointing. I think they lost yesterday, right? Or 2 days ago. They've been kind of disappointing.
4-1 to Leicester.
I know Conte as I guess Conte.
I think he's talking about the Champions League.
Sevilla. I think he's talking about Sevilla.
The Champions League.
No. Champions League. He's talking about the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm talking about Champions League.
Sevilla.
Champions League, yeah. But I'm saying Conte just returned back from surgery, so maybe as he's recovering, the team is recovering also. You know, a lot of things going on. West Ham, they were struggling with relegation, or I don't know if they're still down there, but they're currently pushing up. So it's going to be a tough game, and it's actually the first game of the. Is it the first game of the day? Or Arsenal's game is the first game?
No, Arsenal's game.
Arsenal's game.
At 6:30.
But this is the derby, so we'll go.
West Ham is up to 16th now, just 2 points above the relegation zone, so they're not quite out of it.
They're not quite out of it yet. But you know, those relegation teams are always the toughest to play. So actually, at this time of season, so what do you think, Ayo? What do you think is going to happen with Spurs?
Starting with me.
Yes, now.
So Bentancur is a big miss for them. Again, in midfield, that's where Tottenham is injured. He's out for the season. He has
ACL?
ruptured his ACL. It's an ACL tear.
Wow.
Which is going to be a big miss for Tottenham. As an Arsenal
It's gonna
fan, I'm not too upset about that. But anyway, I think that's going to be a big miss. Lloris is out as well. They will struggle against West Ham.
Which is good.
I don't see Tottenham winning this game. Hopefully, Kane scores, for my FPL. But they are going to struggle. Fraser Foster, I don't trust Fraser Foster in goal. Bentancur is really the only intelligent ball-playing midfielder that I think they have, and he's out for the season. I think it's going to be a big miss for them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 West Ham win again.
Good.
Another away win.
I was waiting for you, like you're kind of silent between, like, are you going to give us prediction or not?
I didn't want to get called out this time.
I know, right? 2-1 West Ham. Like I asked in previous session, I'm going to ask again. Does anyone agree?
I do not.
So no one agrees.
I also think it's good.
I do not agree. I do not agree with Hayo. Now, I'll give you my reasons. I understand where Hayo's coming from. Due to the injury woes of Tottenham, including the manager coming back from injury too. Look, these guys are going to be playing at home. Okay? Tottenham just beat Man City a couple weeks ago, 1-0 win. Now, they're going to be playing a team fighting relegation, and we all know the West Ham team we're seeing this season is not the one we're used to or familiar to. But that team has a major problem too. They are not scoring like they used to. They have a lot of issues on their own that they're dealing with. So these two teams have issues, but we're talking about a Tottenham playing at home. I still see some motivation behind Kane and all of those guys rallying around each other to score, and they're going to score. So I will flip what I say. I say a 2-1 win for West Ham. I say 2-1 win Tottenham Sport. And if you have Kane in your squad, fantasy, and you feel, oh, they're going to lose, you want to change him, please don't do that. That would be the worst strategy you can ever play in your fantasy.
Oh, shit.
Just mark it down. Kane is going to score those 2 goals I predicted. So it's going to be a 2-1 win of Spurs.
So I should captain
down to the goal scorers.
I wouldn't say captain because we have a better, more prolific scorer in Haaland. So you cannot captain
Kane is scoring 2, so I'll captain him. Haaland has been scoring 1 recently.
What if Haaland scored 3 goals? Or 4 goals?
We shall see. Now, before I go to Biodo and Akitayo, we're talking about Bentancur, which we know is like the heart, the fulcrum of the team in the midfield area. He's missing. Who is the closest replacement for Bentancur?
Oh, tough.
Bizuma is injured.
Bizuma is injured?
Okay,
He's injured too.
So let me rephrase the question. Who is the closest replacement?
I don't know.
There's nobody.
I don't know.
Well, in that game, Pape Sarr came on for Bentancur.
Oh, Pape Sarr. Okay, he's there, right? Yeah.
So on that note, Akitayo, what do you think?
Improvise.
Okay, so that game is going to be very interesting. Tottenham have key players out. They have Romero. What's the name of that guy? The central defender is out.
Romero is
suspended.
Yeah, I kind of go with Biodun. With Ayo, I'm sorry. It's going to be a loss for Tottenham. It's going to be a loss. It's going to be a loss for Tottenham.
So what's the number? Is it 2-1 also?
Might be more, but I'll stick with 2-1. It might be more.
Wow. Wow. You guys are going hard.
Because they don't have Loris there. They don't have Romero there. They don't have Bentancur there. They don't have Bizuma there. I don't know.
Belgium.
The Ayers are on the same page today.
Yeah, the Ayers are on the same page. I really can't wait to hear what Belgium has to say.
It's loaded.
It's
Okay,
gathering
all right,
data.
interesting. So, I think Tottenham will win. I think the worst result that Tottenham might have will be a draw. And I'll tell you why. So, I think we're pressing West Ham too much. West Ham is really struggling with goal scoring.
Mm-hmm.
And kudos to them to have made 2 draws out of 2 very tough games. Last week I predicted them
Chelsea
losing
one was
to Chelsea, right? It wasn't tough because Chelsea was disappointing,
Let's not talk about
right?
it.
And again, the penalty thing, we can come back to that. But I think Chelsea was disappointing in that game. West Ham wasn't really a threat for Chelsea, other than that goal, and it came from a clearance that should have been done. Now, the point I'm trying to make is the goals, even for these equalizers, are coming from unusual players, unusual scorers. That tells you that they are struggling to score.
Yeah.
West Ham is struggling to score. The only striker available right now is what's his name? The Jamaican guy. Antonio, right? And Antonio is just coming back to form. The last few games that West Ham have managed to score have come from unusual player. So they are struggling to score. That's number one.
Guy that plays from the wings. What's the name of that guy? The English guy?
Jared Bowen.
What's his name?
Jared Bowen.
Jared Bowen. Yeah, Bowen hasn't scored in the last 2 games.
Bowen has not been on
He
form.
started. He was the one that revived them like 4 or 5 games ago, but he hasn't scored in the last 2 games. Now he's been helpful. He's been helpful. He's been giving the offense, but he hasn't scored in the last 2 games. Right? Skywalker is injured. Antonio is giving the offense. He's giving the press, which is good. I don't see them scoring that much against Tottenham to win.
Yeah, but
against Tottenham to win. So let's go back to Tottenham. Tottenham has issues, but Højbjerg should be able to combine with Papisa and some other midfielders. It's sad that Bentancur is out of the season. It's sad that Bizuma is out of the season because it's so funny. This is the time that Bizuma could have just get a shot and prove himself.
Yep.
And now he's injured. But I think he will get chance because Bentancur is out for the season. So at some point, Bizuma should be able to come back into the game. I think Tottenham will be more confident playing at home. I think Harry Kane, we're doubting Harry Kane. Harry Kane doesn't like to be on a losing streak like that.
Yeah.
It was a loss to Leicester. It was a loss to AC Milan during the week. Things would have to change this game. Just watch out. One way or the other, they will grind out the result. I see a 2-1. So I'm going to flip it, and I think it might be a 2-1 to West Ham. To me, West Ham is not a threat. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't want them to relegate. I want them to stay. But I think it's going to be a 2-1 to Tottenham.
So it's 2-1 across the board. 2 people going for a West Ham win, 2 people going for a Tottenham win. Am I right?
That's right.
Wow.
And you know the funny
We've never had this before.
Biodo and I have been consistent. I don't know what is happening tonight. Yeah, Biodo and I have been.
Because he just bought his glasses that is looking so different.
We need to write down today's dates. Biodo and Ola have agreed twice.
Let's see if we go the last game. There's something is going on.
Let's go to the last game we're talking about today, which is Manchester United versus Leicester City. Man, I will talk about United. I'll praise them. Honestly, just to give a quick intro about Manchester United. Rashford is the man to watch in Manchester United. We all know that. I think as Ayo has been saying for weeks, if you take out Rashford, you probably take down Manchester United. I was talking to a friend of mine some days ago, and he's an Arsenal fan, talking about how, man, Arsenal we're going to win the league, blah, blah, blah. It was calculating like Building always does. We just need to win this number of games, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, bro, I think you're actually worrying about the wrong Manchester club. I actually think if Rashford stays fit, Manchester United can challenge for the trophy.
Why do you think they were? It's very open. It's a 3-horse race.
I know. But what I'm saying is most people look at the table and look at Manchester City and Arsenal right now. Nobody's really looking at Manchester United as much as I am.
Maybe the people you're talking to.
Well, I've been looking at them for the past couple of weeks, even before they got to the point. After Ten Hag moved Ronaldo out, I'd been seeing some positive signs because we already knew Ronaldo. They were weaker with Ronaldo, stronger without him. So once he left, I had a feeling they were going to go on a good run, and it's been happening. So I think that's the club to really watch out for. But all I want to say something, and after you say what you want to say, you can go ahead with your prediction. Let's go.
So honestly, you all said the same. You've been saying the same thing about Rashford and all of that, but I think outside of Rashford, let's talk about how they defend game. Casemiro is there, who have been very very helpful for them in the
Casemiro is
midfield.
not in this game, by the way.
Yeah, I'm talking about generally. So not just about Lucas Rashford being the main guy behind the team. I'm just mentioning that. So for this game, let me start with Leicester. Leicester City have been fantastic in the last few games, and I think whatever they are doing to Brenda, just keep doing it to Brenda Rogers. Keep him out of. Let the guys play their game. I think the guys are just motivated to play for each other. That's what I've seen in the last few games. Because I saw the a goal that Iheanacho could have scored. He attracted all the defenders to himself and he let the pass go. And it was a fantastic game. I've seen their game, at the beginning of the season to compare with where they are right now. They are playing for each other right now. So a team that is this motivated with so much passion, the guys that you never thought could score, they are scoring goals. Iheanacho is playing the best game of his life. Vardy could be benched. That's another thing that you see that's weird for Iheanacho to start, and everyone is playing well. It's not going to be an easy game for Man U. Man U will be playing at home, but Man U have a little edge over Leicester City, which is because they're playing at home. We all know how Old Trafford is. It's a terrible place to go and get a victory. At the same time, I still felt Man U will win 1-0. Um, Leicester City might not be able to score at all at Old Trafford. So I give it to Man U scoring with 1-0 from Leicester City.
Fair enough. And you're giving that based on the fact that they defend well, with or without
Oh,
Casemiro.
definitely, with or without. So if you notice the last game, was it the last game after the suspension of Casemiro? They were down
Mhm.
2 goals and they came back and all of that. We all saw that game. I still feel Leicester City doesn't have enough strength to bring them down as it is right now. I see Man U still be able to score with Rashford scoring 1 goal. I'm not just predicting the winner. I'm also predicting the scorer, which is in
See,
this case Lucas Rashford. Is what I'm thinking will score the 1 goal. I just don't see how this motivation we're seeing from Leicester City, the momentum from them, how it's going to translate to a win or to a goal, even in Old Trafford. That's where the challenge is. These guys are motivated, but I just don't see them, going through at Old Trafford.
okay. Now, I guess I would have to change it because we're talking a lot today about Manchester United, and I think we need to change it and just ask the real question. Akitayo, Rashford versus Leicester City. Who do you think will win? Because it's Rashford for me, right? For someone to score in I don't know how many games, he's been scoring in every single game.
Yeah.
Every single game. It's becoming ridiculous. I think he should get tested.
Okay, so that game is going to be the game is going to be a draw.
Here we go.
We can
2-2
never agree
draw.
on anything.
2-2.
2-2 draw. So
Yeah,
Rashford will score 2 goals.
I don't know if he's going to score 2 goals, but I'm just saying it's going to be. I don't know if Rashford is going to score the 2 goals, but
Another
it's going to be a draw.
another FPL captain candidate.
I know. Hurricane 2, Rashford 2. I need to really think about this. We
I'm
have
not
to
saying
think about
I'm not
City.
saying Rashford will score 2 goals. I'm just saying the game is going to be a draw.
Okay.
So
It's going to be a
I think
draw.
it's going to
Why
be
do
a
you,
draw.
why do you think it's
Yeah.
going to be a
To
draw?
draw.
If you notice something about Leicester City, their game changed when Madison came back
Yep.
because he was their creative player. He was one with the passes and everything, and it's like the one like bringing the team along. Couple of guys are coming back gradually. And this guy, what's his name? The short guy in their midfield, Mendy.
Mendy.
His game
Mendy.
has really, yeah, he has really upped his game. So the game for that match is going to be a midfield game. It's all about the midfield, And the good thing about Leicester is that they have guys that can play from the wings, and the problem I have with I don't know, I think Varane is back, right?
Varane, man use Varane.
Yeah, I think he's back.
He
Yeah,
played
he's back,
today.
right?
He played today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but I think it's going to be a draw. I personally feel it's going to be a draw.
And you say 2-2 draw.
2-2.
Ola,
Yeah.
Ola, I don't know why you gave a thumb up when he said Maddison is back. You said Leicester will not score any goal. So if Maddison is back, Leicester should be scoring.
Oh, okay. We'll get. Let me say why I think this is not their game. It's Old Trafford, for God's sake. It's Old Trafford we're talking about here. So, Madison has been, since he was away, we know the disaster that happened to Leicester. I know he's playing the best game right now, but not with this scoring. So, Man U is not just scoring, they're actually defending very well, too. I mean, provided we don't have Master, what's his name again? The most abused defender in English Premier League.
Oh, Lisandro.
Maguire. So as long as Maguire is not in that
Maguire is member of that team. I've forgotten Maguire.
So with the current defense that they have, I remember what Arsenal went through playing with these guys, playing against these guys. So I still don't see Maddison scoring or Maddison doing a great thing that would change my prediction. I just don't feel it's gonna.
I see Fred getting a red card in that game.
Wow. Fred might not even play. Just to let you know, Fred might not even play that day.
Moving past that in-depth prediction of a red card for Fred, Biodu, Rashford versus Leicester City. What do you think?
I don't know about Rashford versus Leicester City. I know about Manchester United versus Leicester City.
We're warning you now. Better captain him on your FPL.
All right. Here's my prediction before I analyze. I think Manchester United would beat Leicester easily. Yeah, I think it's going to be a 3-1. Okay, so I agree.
Put your phone on.
What's that?
Ringer.
I mean, you said 2-2, right?
Yeah, put your phone on Ringer on that day. Yeah, put it on Ringer.
Okay, sure. So, like I said, right, I respect Akitayo and me's predictions, and the way he throws them out, sometimes I feel like he has somebody behind that is looking into the mirror. I don't know. We are going another weekend to see whether it comes out true this time around. If it comes out true this time around, then he needs to open the business. I has always been saying it. Whenever Maddison plays, Leicester play like a top 4 team, right? I agree. But not against Manchester United that I'm looking at. This Manchester United has really, really surprised me. I am glad that we actually beat them. It was a tougher game than the first leg. Now, look at what the coach has done. Because I think people should start paying attention to that coach. He's got something. And he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yes, he knows what he's doing. He's a really good manager.
He is good.
He looks. We talked about the crop of games that Man U has to play within 2 weeks. Yeah. And we thought that was going to crumble them. Now, maybe they'll crumble later. I don't know if Rashford gets injured. But so far, they have sustained and they have managed to go through those games. The Leeds United game, the second leg, was the one we talked about. They won that game too. And that was somebody that was just resilient. They show resilience, they show hard work, they show dedication. They didn't play with Casemiro. Because we know that when Casemiro plays, is a different game for them. They didn't play with Casemiro. They play with the guy that they're not too good, they made mistakes, but they held on. Even with the mistakes, they kept on playing. And with Rashford there, you just need to wait for that moment that the goals would happen. So they will miss Casemiro, but I don't think they will miss Casemiro too much. He rested Martinez and Varane for that game. And they play Maguire that people don't even trust. Go watch the Leeds game. That was bold. I think that was bold from the manager to play Maguire in that game against Leeds. And they didn't even concede.
He just weighed which one was more important to him. That's what
I know, but regardless, the way they played the game, it wasn't like we are ready to lose the game. They played as if we wanted to win.
Maguire is an £80 million player. So what are we talking about?
I know, and he's playing against, and I think he's playing against the club that sold him, right?
Just
came from
offended
Leicester, right?
Charles.
Right, he came from the same
Maguire,
club, right? So,
correction, Maguire cost 80 million, but he's not an 80 million player.
Oh, okay.
all right, that's
There
another
we go.
conversation, right? Semantics. Okay, so my point is this: Leicester with Maddison, who would expect that it will be a very good game, but I don't see them breaking down defense. We know who the defense is. We know how Martinez and Varane will play out their heart. They can play. They have options. They can play either Malaysia or play Wan-Bissaka or play Luke Shaw. They have options in the defense, and I think that should be good enough to shut down Leicester. That midfield, they might struggle, but I think they will come out. They just need the passes to go out. They've been benching Anthony, which I think it's a good idea for them, right? Anthony is not playing, so they have better option, more serious.
He's injured.
Okay, maybe he's injured. Maybe that's even better because they have more options of people that can be decisive and can go forward quickly. So I see them winning, and I see them winning because of one other thing, which is the last point I'm going to make. They have the momentum. They are trying to go solo without noise because they don't want people to pay attention to them. But I personally believe that they're after the league. I believe they're after the league, but they don't want to commit and they don't want to say it out. But I think they are trying to steadily go after the league without causing too much attention to themselves. I think that is their focus, and I think we should all watch out for them.
This is
So you say your prediction is 3-1?
Sorry?
You say your prediction is 3-1.
So somebody was asking a question, sorry.
No,
My prediction is 3-1.
after the league. I was like, this season or next
Yeah,
season.
they're after the league this season, but they won't get it. If you want to hear my submission, I don't think they will win it. I don't think they will win it, but I think they will try. I think they will try to go after the league. Because we played them, we're not going to play them again. And they're not going to play City again. So their chances are City should sleep and Arsenal should sleep. That is their chance. They are hoping that Arsenal should sleep and City should sleep so that they can catch up because they're not going to play either of the two teams again. So that is their strategy. And I think they are hiding. They don't want people to pay attention to them. But I think they have a strong team that they have the momentum and they have the belief. The game they played against Barca today showed that they are confident and they think they can beat anybody. And that is the same spirit that they will play against Leicester. Madison can do whatever he wants. He will have a good game, but they're not going to win.
Okay. Ola, you were saying something. Did you call my name?
Yeah. I looked at your face when you shook your
You're
head. How did I have
we can hear you. Yeah, your audio is just delayed.
Okay. So
Right.
I looked at your face, Charles, when you shook your head and when Bjorn said something about this season or next season. There is no, I don't believe, maybe it's just a metaphor. I don't believe Man U is quiet and they don't want people doing it after the league. They can win and win. They are not even going to be so close to the top two at the end of this season. They're still going to sleep. I'm talking about the Man U that we watched last time that were down 2-0. First half, right? Look, there's still some level of inconsistency with Man U. They're not going to go all the way winning and all of that. They're still going to sleep. Even though they're not going to play Man City and Arsenal again, it doesn't matter. They're still going to draw point. I rest my case.
We shall see. I personally think if Rashford stays fit, Man U can challenge for the league. But on that note, Ayo, let's hear what you have to say about this interesting game. You see how wild predictions have been. 2-2 here, 3-1 here. Just people throwing it up disrespectfully throwing out these predictions. Ayo, please be respectful.
I don't know if you saw I grabbed my pen when Akitai was speaking earlier, but I had to write that down because that prediction was
picking my air captain this weekend.
That prediction was so precise to say that Fred is going to get a red that considering his past predictions, I had to actually write that one down. I'm going to check for that because if Fred gets a red on Sunday, I'm just going to have you log into my FPL team for the rest of the season.
I'm just going to have him play a lottery ticket for me.
I know, right?
So Man U Leicester. This is one I wish I could escape predicting. So I'll give my analysis first. So credit to Man U, even though I would say Man U is probably the team I hate the most, probably even more than Tottenham. But I have to say I have been impressed with Man U so far. I keep saying yes, if you take Rashford down, this Man U team might crumble. And while that is true, at the same time, they are holding the back line and they are delivering and creating those chances for Rashford. So it's credit to the team. Credit to Ten Hag. He's lost his first 2 games in charge and he has managed to recover and have this team solidly I would say solidly third in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
Would they be enough to go for the title? I don't know. They are the only team still in all 4 competitions, and they don't have a particularly deep squad. They particularly are struggling up front with Marcel getting injured so much and Weghorst not really scoring. So I don't know if they have the squad to go the way. Leicester, yes, Leicester is like a top 4 team when Maddison is back. There was also a key change they made in that they took out Amati. So Amati had been playing as a center back for a long time, which I think was part of their struggle and, how they tried to compensate for the loss of Fofana. They've brought in a new guy now. I believe his name, I was looking at the name.
Wobo or something. One funny name.
No, so there's Wout Fass, who has been playing there all of the season, but there's also a new guy they brought in Harry Suter. So Harry Suter has been playing alongside Fass in the center of defense. I almost want to say I agree with Akintayo again in that this is going to be a draw. if I'm going to be forced to make a prediction, and I don't know who is going to score as well, but I would say maybe another 2-2 draw. I think I agree with Akintayo this one wholeheartedly. A 2-2 draw in this game with Man U versus Leicester. Casemiro being out is a big loss. Leicester seem to have found their attack going forward. Iheanacho is starting up front. It seems to me like, Iheanacho starts a lot on the bench in the early part of the season, and then towards the business end,
they start coming up.
Brendan Rodgers starts to bring in, Iheanacho, and he starts scoring. They also brought in a new guy in Kenny Tete on the right, a very skillful left-footed Brazilian player, and he's rejuvenated that attack along with Maddison being back from injury. So I think it's going to be a tough game for both teams. I don't know if one will edge it, so I'm going to play it safe and stay on the fence and say 2-2 draw.
Okay, so we have 2 draws and 2 Man U victories. Good.
Was it a 1-0 and a 3-1?
And a 3-1, yeah, and then 2-2 draws. And normally I want to, at this point, bring in... Go ahead. You want to say something?
I was going to say, Charles, I think you need to predict for this game. I think for this game where it's so tight, I think we need you to give a tiebreaker for this one. What's your analysis?
I won't give you the numbers. I'll just tell you Man U is going to win.
Okay.
Fair enough, right? All right.
When is Martial coming back?
I'll take it.
Martial is out.
Martial could be back. He could be back this weekend and then out the game for 2 months.
Out the game for
another 2 months. When he's back, he's back.
But I think a lot of you have already given up on Leicester, especially the 2 guys on the left. They've given up on Leicester. Remember, they have 2 quick guys from the wings. They have the Barnes guys, and they have that Tete guy. Those guys are workers. They can.
Those are the guys that was scoring 2 goals.
I know them. I don't. It's not that I forgot. I just don't see them.
He doesn't rate them.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be a tough game, but just there's an edge that Man U has. This little edge that Man U has over Leicester City, and that's what's gonna propel them for that win at home on Saturday.
Okay. 3 wins.
It's gonna be an interesting
draws.
Also.
Let's move on to something. Just a quick tweet. I just want to throw. This is kind of personal. I know we're not going to talk about Nottingham Forest, Man City, because we all know Man City is going to win that game, except Thunder strikes in the wrong place.
Look, you said that. You said that at the World Cup. I remember you said that, but look, never say never again.
It's the Premier League.
You still remember
to be happy over this.
I'm the only one who had the right World Cup prediction. I don't know who Argentina is going to win it, so let's not go there. But let's throw out a quick question. Since you guys throw out Rashford in 2 goals because he's the one that scores for Man U. Someone said Kane is going to score 2 goals, and someone said, "Oh, there's a striker in the league that will do better than Harry Kane, which is Haaland." Between those 3 players, which I have in my FPL, I'm going to be selfish and ask, who should we captain this weekend? Harry Kane, Rashford, Haaland.
Haaland is still the captain.
Haaland.
Because they are playing the weaker team.
Yeah, a weak squad. Again, let me also say this. I've seen cases like Forest, like a weak team like that, playing against Man City, and Haaland goes blank. like he didn't score. We've seen that this season,
But
but
it's not happening.
this, because this is a game of mathematics and analysis, I will still stick to Haaland because he has the higher chance or the highest chance of scoring in this fixture for this weekend. I mean,
Okay.
Kane is gonna score too. I give him one goal.
Mm.
Rashford one goal, but with
Mm.
what's his name, Haaland, I
Haaland.
give him minimum of two. That's how highly let me say placed he is in terms of scoring goals.
Okay, Biodun, you didn't choose anybody for FPL captain.
I mean, I think that either of the three, any one of the three can score. If you're thinking of FPL in terms of captaining FPL,
Mm-hmm.
on paper, and that's because Pep is crazy. Because you don't know what's going to happen. He might just be on the bench, and Alvarez might just start
Haaland might start
because
at
he
left
just
back.
He might
yeah
rest him.
because
They have Champions League.
he
People
just
have
beat
Champions League next week.
Arsenal. He just beat Arsenal. He kept him because he needed him to beat Arsenal to stay and bully us, which he did. He bullied Gabriel, he bullied Saliba, right? He bullied Gali. I mean, Gabriel made mistake, right? He was bullying them. So he had worked, and he might want to rest him and play Alvarez because they have Champions League game coming. So I wouldn't put my money on Haaland, even though it's an easier game. And
So
because
who
it's
would you?
also an easier game, I think I will stick with Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Okay, good. That's
Because
a twist.
Rashford hasn't scored more than 2 in a game like that, so he's not going to score like 2. But Harry Kane could go on an hat-trick. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
All right.
Re-
Ayo, do you want to say
Remember,
something?
I was just going to add. Remember, Tottenham is losing that game.
Oh, that's what you said.
I picked Tottenham as winning the game. So
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, this has
Again,
been
Harry Kane
great.
can score whether win or lose.
Yeah, true. This has been great. So viewers, as you can see, we don't only predict for the real games, we predict for FPL too. So if you want your FPL tips, you can always tune in to Talk Football Live. And on that note, guys, it's been a great time. We'll see you same time next week. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Bye. Good night.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Peace.
Bye. Bye.